On today's show, Moussa Diabate's time on the LA Clippers has come to an end. What does that mean for the team, and where is he going? Going to be talking about it all on today's Locked On Offseason Clippers.
You are Locked On Clippers, your daily Los Angeles Clippers podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Yes, sir. You were locking in with the Clips. Thank you for making Locked On Clippers the first listen of your day, your team every day. I'm your host, Darian Vaziri, born and raised in LA. And going into my 20th season as a Clipper fan this fall. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DimeDropperPod and subscribe to my own YouTube channel, Dime Dropper, for even more LA Clipper, LA Sports, and NBA content. And Locked On Clippers is free and available wherever you get your podcasts, including YouTube. I want you to let me know what you think of Moussa Diabate being on the move in the comment section below. And of course, you can comment just about anything on the episode. Hit the notification bell so you know every single time we post a video. And you can listen to us on any podcast platform. And this episode is brought to you by Game Time. Game Time is the best place to get great deals on tickets last minute before the event or even up to the start of the event. All you got to do is download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. And in this episode, we're going to be talking about the departure of Moussa Diabate and his time as a Clipper coming to an end. And then we're going to be talking about Nicolas Batum and the amazing performance that he put on for France in their opening game of their Olympic campaign. And then ending things with Elijah Harkless getting signed to an Exhibit 10 deal. So let's begin with the big news. And I wouldn't say it's big news for the NBA, but it's news for the Clippers. And that is that one of our own, Moussa Diabate, is on the way out. He is going to Charlotte on a two-way contract, which solidifies Kai Jones' spot potentially on the team. I mean, right now we have 15 actual contracts, like guaranteed, right? And that includes Cam Christie. So right now the 15 players that are on the team are Kawhi, Norman Powell, Zoo, PJ Tucker, Terrence Mann, Bones Highland, Amir Coffey, Kobe Brown, Derek Jones. I'm at 9 right now, by the way. Kevin Porter makes 10. Mo Bamba 11. James Harden 12. I don't know why he hasn't been listed here in this document I'm looking at. Nicolas Batum 13, Chris Dunn 14, and then Cam Christie 15. So those are 15 guys right there. And then you have Trenton Flowers, Kai Jones, just kind of hanging around the roster. Jordan Miller, we're going to see. He's on a two-way contract right now. So we have two other two-way spots. I believe Trenton Flowers is on a two-way contract. So it's one two-way contract that we have left, and it looks like Kai Jones. I'm sorry, yes. So the LA Clippers did sign Trenton Flowers to a two-way contract. So there's only one left, and I believe that is going to be Kai Jones, who has a training camp deal as of now. But yeah, Moussa Diabate is gone. And I have to say that maybe a little bit sad because I was still holding out a little bit of hope that he could turn into something potentially. However, all the signs that we've seen so far throughout the little minutes that he's gotten in the NBA and 3 summer leagues, I don't know if he's an NBA player yet. Like, I don't know if he's an NBA player yet. Not can he contribute to a rotation on a winning team. Not can he get minutes in the NBA. I don't know if he really belongs in the league yet or if he's best served going overseas and playing. Because the thing with Moussa is he is a 6'11" center, but a very skinny one. He came into the league at 210 pounds. I don't know how much in these last 2 years he has gained weight, but he is still on the thinner side. So defensively, although he has incredible instincts and he's fantastic moving his feet on the perimeter, really gives you the ability to switch 1 through 5 if he's playing the 5. At the 5, down low, he doesn't offer much resistance. While he does have, the ability to block some shots, doesn't have the longest wingspan, and he doesn't have the craziest vertical. And when guys go into his chest, he still gets knocked back a good amount. So it's hard for him to play that 5 defensively as an anchor. But the main reason why he doesn't is because offensively, he never really seemed to improve. He never really seemed to get anything in terms of skill offensively at the NBA level, whether it be scoring around the rim or in the post or, just the coordination around the basket, for example. It just felt as though he was a little frantic, a little all over the place offensively, didn't have the best hand, didn't have the best touch around the basket, and he couldn't really stretch the floor. If he was able to stretch the floor, you could see him be a power forward, a 4, but he just didn't really offer that much offensively, and then defensively he's a little too skinny to be the 5. In his young NBA career, and remember, of course, Moussa Diabate was drafted in 2022 by us with the 43rd pick in the draft out of Michigan. He is from France. The sad part for me is that it's just another draft pick down the drain for the Clippers. Like another pick that we had, one of our own, and we missed the boat. The fact that we're letting him go and we're basically replacing him with Kai Jones just shows that, look, this one didn't really work out for us. We didn't really get it right. And as I said, I don't know if this, just because Moussa has a 2-way contract with the Charlotte Hornets are arguably the worst team in the league last season. That doesn't mean that he's going to stay in the league. And I wish him the absolute best. I really do. But I don't know what his role is in the NBA, if he will be an NBA player, but I'm rooting for him. He's only played a total of 33 games in his NBA career these last 2 seasons. In 2023, he actually played 22 games. He averaged 3 points and 2 rebounds on 51% shooting. The one thing I will say about Moussa, he's a hell of an offensive rebounder. He has an incredible work ethic, and his motor on the court is fantastic. So if any Charlotte Hornets fans are watching this, that's what you're getting with him. But as I said, he hasn't really shown any NBA skill. Outside of rebounding, I really think he's a good enough rebounder at the NBA level, but just rebounding won't keep you on the court in the NBA today. And unless you're a superhuman rebounder like a Reggie Evans or something, shout out old former Clipper Reggie Evans, which Moussa is not. I don't know if you have a spot on the court today. And even Reggie Evans, I don't know if he would be used that much today in the NBA. There's nobody that really plays like him. There's no role that's specified for somebody like that. So, yeah, maybe Moussa, in the 2000s would have been able to be a solid bench player in the league. But right now, I don't know. The game calls for different things. This past season, he played just 11 games. He averaged 0.1 point less than he did the previous year, so 2.6 this season. 2 rebounds. It's funny, 0.1 less rebound as well on 53% shooting. In the G League, though, this past season for the Ontario Clippers, he played in 14 games, and he averaged 16 points and 10 rebounds. 16 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, and 2 blocks on 57% shooting. So in the G League, you can see his numbers are fantastic. So there is still some hope that maybe he can become something off the bench. As I said, he's got a great motor. In terms of being in the right place at the right time, he can be there. He can get those filler, gritty points, meaning like points that are there for the table, offensive rebounds, running the floor. He really is great at running the floor. I just think the moral of the story is that Moussa being gone shows an admittance from the Clippers organization that we got this one wrong. And it's just like, we really got to get better at drafting. We really do. That's my biggest takeaway from it all, is that this is an admittance that we got this one wrong. We need to get better at drafting. We really have missed out. And we might have to have an episode on that, the Clippers being bad at drafting. But coming up, somebody that's on the more positive side of things, Nicolas Batum. Just how well did he play in France's opening game against Brazil? You won't want to miss this. I got to tell you a little something about Game Time. Game Time is the best place to get great deals last minute on tickets, even up to the start of the event. And Game Time is an authorized ticket marketplace of Major League Baseball, which makes getting tickets faster and easier. And I still haven't been to Dodger Stadium this year to see Ohtani. I've got to get over there. And Game Time being an authorized ticket marketplace of the MLB, that makes me more inclined to use it, and I'm probably going to next. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer it gets to the first pitch. And with killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee, Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets. Your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry, known as Game Time Ticket Coverage. And the lowest price, you can get the lowest price guarantee, or Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Take the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. All right. So the LA Clippers picked up Nicolas Batum this summer, bringing him back to LA where he belongs. And this summer, Nico is playing in the Olympics for France at home in Paris. And their first game was against Brazil. I watched the entire thing just because I do like watching Olympic basketball, but of course also because of Nico. And let me just say, Nicolas Batum being out there with Wemby and Gobert, the amount of length and size is insane. Like, how small they make the floor look is crazy, especially given that the FIBA court's a little bit smaller. I mean, just Wemby and Gobert themselves, the two of them being on the same team is insane. But Nico, another guy who's got really long arms, who's active on the perimeter, it's going to be tough to play against. Especially, I mean, I don't want to say the U.S. is going to struggle against them by any means, but if there's one team that might be able to give the U.S. some trouble, France is one of them. But man, what a performance by Nico. If any Clipper fan watched this game, I don't know how you can walk away from it not feeling insanely encouraged. Because this guy was doing every single little thing that helped France win. And that shouldn't surprise anyone because that's all he's done his whole career and all he did for the Clippers. It's just the fact that he's still doing it at such a high level that you're like, wow, he really is going to contribute a good amount this season. I mean, the defense, the deflections, the extra passes, the little extra effort plays that there's just no damn statistic for. Like, there was one play where he got a block and then saved the ball, and then on the fast break, he had a touch pass to Gobert. I mean, just doing it on both ends of the floor, and that came after like a turnaround over the left shoulder. I mean, this guy was isolating back to basket and turned over his left shoulder and shot a mid-range, one-on-one. And you don't see that for the Clippers. And then there was another play where they were trying to throw an entry pass on a high-low, and he went up and grabbed it and threw it down and ended up saving it, and then he scored on the other end. I mean, and then he hit the two huge threes in the fourth quarter to seal the deal. What a performance by Nico. Funny enough, he actually was tied with Wemby for their scoring leader in this game. It was a 78-66 win for Les Bleus, and it was pretty amazing seeing the French crowd, the French fans really showing support for their home team. I mean, it was an electric sounding atmosphere in there, and Nicolas Batum absolutely contributed to that. 19 points, 5 rebounds, which was the second most in the game, even more than Gobert, 2 assists, 2 steals on 6 for 13 shooting. He didn't shoot great from 3 for 9. 4 for 4 from the foul line, and get this. Old man Batum played 34 minutes. Remember, the FIBA game is 40 minutes. So he only sat out 6 minutes and led the team in minutes. He played more than Wemby. He played more than Gobert. Nico. I mean, I know the FIBA game isn't the NBA, but I cannot emphasize to you how excited I am to have this guy back. How excited I am to have another big forward back, another guy that can defend on the wing in the perimeter. I mean, the fact that Terrence Mann is going to be where he belongs this season, which is being one of the point of attack defenders, not the guy in charge of guarding the best guard on the other team every single second. To have Derrick Jones, to have Nico Batum, and to have Chris Dunn, I think our perimeter defense should be A1 this season. It's just a matter of, do we have enough scoring punch and enough size? But Nicolas Batum is absolutely going to help with that size. He'll help with our three-point shooting and our overall basketball IQ. I think he and James Harden are going to play very well together. They obviously haven't played together in their careers because Nicolas was traded for Harden, but it's going to be very fun. It's just, ladies and gentlemen, like Clipper Nation, watch France's games. I mean, it's fun to watch Wemby enough as is, but seeing Nico play at this high a level, seeing him play in his last Olympics in front of his home crowd, I mean, that's really special. So it's an absolute joy. Their next game, and by the way, yeah, they won, as I mentioned, 78-66 over Brazil. Their next game is actually on Tuesday. So if you're listening to this on Tuesday, they might have already played their second game. And I'll be covering all these games for them in this Olympics. They'll be playing against Australia, who won their first game against Spain. Josh Giddey of the Oklahoma City Thunder, of the Chicago Bulls, actually was very good in that game. But hopefully for Nico, he wins and goes 2-0. Actually, I'm sorry. That's Canada that's playing Australia. Japan is going to be playing France. So he'll be playing against Rui Hachimura from the Lakers and their squad. So I think it'll be a win for France. They'll hopefully advance to 2-0. That game is at 8:15 in the morning on Tuesday, 11:15 Pacific time. Eastern time. So make sure you tune into that. But yeah, Nicolas Batum, absolute standout. Coming up, though, the Clippers signed another guy to a training camp deal. Who's that? Going to be talking about it coming up. All right. So talking about Moussa Diabate being on the way out, going to the Charlotte Hornets in this episode. Unfortunate. I absolutely wish Moussa the best. It didn't pan out for him. Nicolas Batum, awesome for France in the Olympics. But somebody, according to one of our good guests, Law Murray, the beat writer for The Athletic, says that Elijah Harkless will join the Clippers for training camp in an Exhibit 10. Sources tell The Athletic. And Elijah Harkless, he went to UNLV and I believe CSUN too. Yeah, CSUN, where I went to for a year, by the way. And then he went to UNLV, averaged 19 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists his senior year. Had a fantastic summer league as a member of the Clippers. He was one of the big reasons why we went to the semifinals. And I thought that his on-ball defense was very good. He was a big part of why we made it to the semifinal, as I just said. And, the 24-year-old spent his first pro season playing for the Clippers G League team in Ontario last year. And in 27 Showcase Cup and regular season games, he averaged 11 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. So, again, if you don't know what an Exhibit 10 deal is, it's non-guaranteed, and they can be converted to two-way contracts. So the Clippers do have a two-way opening. Kai Jones and Elijah Harkless will be competing for that last spot. I personally think it's going to go to Kai Jones, but who knows? From everything I saw about Elijah Harkless, he was playing hard defense. He wants this. He really wants this. So, let the best man win, right? Let the best man win. The thing is, the Clippers are clearly making a point that they want on-ball defense. They like the on-ball defense. They want more point-of-attack guys, and they can never have too much of that. And last year, with our point-of-attack defense being shaky, making kind of Terrence Mann do everything, and not being the best at guarding quick guards. And in today's NBA, there's so many of them around the league. Now, I don't think even if EJ Harkless gets that last two-way spot that he's going to actually be a part of the regular rotation or anything like that. But it's just something where you see a guy play hard in Summer League, you see a guy play well in Summer League, and he has gotten an opportunity now by the organization to try to make the team, to try to be a part of something long term. So best of luck to him. I'm personally on Team Kai Jones just because there is the potential there. We've heard so many people talk about him. So many people want him to succeed here. And I still remember the athleticism where he dunked on Wemby. I'll never forget that dunk he had on Wemby in the Summer League. That made me think, oh man, this guy's a freak athlete. He's got a chance to be a good young player in the NBA for the Charlotte Hornets, and it obviously didn't pan out. So those are my takeaways for that. Overall, as I said at the top of the show, I am sad to see Moussa go because it's just another guy where I was like, maybe he can pan out. And, you know, as fans, we always do this thing with the players that we draft that we just hold out a little bit more optimism than normal with other guys because we drafted them and we want them to succeed under our tutelage. But you just get them wrong sometimes, and in the Clippers' case, they get a lot wrong in recent times. And Moussa Diabate is one of those where he's an undersized 5 that didn't really develop much of an offensive game, and his tenacity on the glass just isn't going to be enough to get him a spot in the league. There's nobody in the NBA right now that's only in there for rebounding like back in the day. And when I mean back in the day, I mean like 10, 15 years ago. You know, it's funny, I'm not as well-versed in 55 years ago as I am 15, but I am pretty well versed in the league in the 60s. And one thing that's interesting back then is I can't even think of anyone that's strictly out there for rebounding back then either. Guys still had some kind of offensive skills. So guys like the Reggie Evanses of the world, remember, back in the day in the 60s, people always want to say, oh, there's not enough teams and stuff like that. But what people don't remember, or should I say what people forget, is that when you have less spots, it's tougher to make a league. So when you add 20 more teams, there are going to be more spots for guys that aren't necessarily as skilled. So yes, it does water things down to a degree. So like let's say like right now the WNBA has 12 teams. There's a lot of good players on each team. If you add 8 teams and spread this same amount of talent on those teams, then there's going to be more spots too in the league, more jobs in professional basketball. So there's going to be some worse players in the league. That's just how it goes. But anyway, point being, I wish Moussa the best, and if he does get some offense, he will find a spot in the league because he does all the intangible things. He really does. But Nicolas Batum, I think that's the one thing I want you all to be most excited about is how well he played, how good he's looking, even at his age. It truly is special. And some of those sequences, I posted them on my Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DimeDropperPod and subscribe to my own YouTube channel, Dime Dropper, for even more LA Clipper, LA Sports, and NBA content. But if you follow me on Twitter, you'll see I posted 2 of the plays and sequences that were just amazing from Nico doing it on both ends of the floor. Also, remember, if you can't listen to this podcast on video, you can always listen on audio on wherever you get your podcasts, never behind a paywall. And remember to keep subscribing to get this channel up to 6,000 subscribers. Keep showing everybody that the LA Clippers fan base is for real. Man, yeah, keep tuning into France for Nicolas Batum. He is currently our only player representing us in the Olympics. Of course, Kawhi Leonard was going to, and then Team USA had some politics going on and sent him home. So it is what it is. I'm okay with seeing Kawhi relax and rehab. Not rehab. But by the way, from the sound of things, Kawhi Leonard had some kind of minor procedure on his knee. From the sound of things, because Lawrence Frank didn't deny when Law Murray asked a question about if Kawhi had done anything. He's like, look, I'm not going to talk about that. Why would he say that if there was nothing done? So I think it's just good to see Kawhi relax and just rest his knee. The age-old proverb continues. Go Clippers.